So you see a score like 31-0 and you think, okay, total blowout, right? Well, yeah, but the real story here, the stuff that actually defined the Chiefs' win over the Raiders, it's not just on the scoreboard. We're talking about controversy, some serious individual grit, and some truly next-level strategy. Let's break it all down. All right, first things first, we have to talk about the play that had everybody talking. You know the one. It ended a rookie season, and man, it sparked a serious debate. It really just boils down to this one simple question: was it a dirty play? So, the player at the center of all this was rookie defensive tackle Omar Norman Lott. And what happened to him is, honestly, the perfect example of why you can't always trust what you see in real time. Sometimes you gotta slow it down, take a second look, because that replay, it can change the entire story. Okay, so let's set the scene here. It's late in the third quarter. Norman Lott goes down, and it's bad, a season-ending ACL injury. The opponent involved, Stone Forsythe, gets hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So at first glance, you're thinking, case closed, dirty play, guy gets hurt. Seems pretty open and shut. But, and this is a big but, this is where watching it again really flips the script. When you break down the video frame by frame, you see that while Norman Lott is tangled up with Forsythe, his own leg just gives out. It buckles first. And here's the kicker. He's already grabbing for his knee before Forsythe even falls on him. So yeah, the penalty was for hitting him late, but that awful injury, it looks like it actually happened a split second before the foul. And this is just a perfect illustration of the two ways to see this play. The first reaction, the one in the moment, it's all emotion. It looks like a deliberate, nasty attempt to injure a guy who's already down. But when you step back and review it, it looks more like a pretty standard garden variety foul for a late hit. The foul was real, but it wasn't the cold-blooded act that caused the injury. Two totally different stories. Okay, so let's pivot. We're going to move on from that controversy and talk about something completely different, just pure, unbelievable grit. And for that, we've got to focus on wide receiver Xavier Worthy. You know, the biggest question mark hanging over Worthy, really since he was drafted, has been about his durability. I mean, the guy's playing with a torn labrum right now, and everyone was wondering if his smaller frame could really take the kind of punishment the NFL dishes out every single week. Well, let me tell you, one single play in the third quarter basically answered that question for good. It was incredible. First, he gets absolutely rocked, knocked to the ground, but he doesn't stay there. Nope. He pops right back up, makes sure the ref sees it and throws a flag, and then he still gets open and makes this amazing 12-yard catch in traffic for a first down. It's only after all of that, when he's on the sideline, that you see him wincing, clearly in pain. I mean, the focus, the toughness, it's just off the charts. And that right there, that one little sequence, it proves everything you need to know. This guy is way more than just his 40 time. He's not just a speed merchant. He's got the heart, he's got the skill. Put it all together, he is a football player. And hey, if you somehow still weren't convinced, get this. The very next drive, after all that, after clearly being in pain, he took an end around for 13 yards and another first down. The guy is just relentless. He just keeps coming back for more. So that kind of toughness from one guy is amazing, right? But what makes this team so dangerous is when you pair that individual grit with some absolutely brilliant team strategy. So for our last section here, let's peel back the curtain and look at the method behind what on the surface can sometimes look like total madness, the Chiefs' play calling. This all kind of came to a head on this 1 4th-and-1 play. You might have seen it. Before the snap, you see Mahomes just start yelling, acting all frustrated with his own guys. To everyone watching, us at home, the TV announcers, it looked like a total mess. Like they were trying to draw the defense off sides and just completely botched it. Nobody knew what was going on. And yeah, the criticism came in fast. Former NFL lineman Jeff Schwartz said what we were all thinking. Not a single Raiders defender changed their posture. They didn't move an inch. They weren't fooled one bit. So if the whole point was to get a cheap offsides penalty, well, it was a complete failure. Or was it? Nope, not even close. And this is the genius part. After the game, Mahomes let everyone in on the secret. He said the whole act, all the yelling, it wasn't to get them to jump off sides. It was to get the defense to relax, to make them think, oh, these guys are a mess, they don't know what they're doing. And for that split second that the defense let its guard down, snap. The ball is snapped, and they get the first down. It wasn't about the penalty. It was pure mind games. This, my friends, is what you call playing the long game. It's a strategy where what you do on this play isn't even really about this play. It's about setting something up for later. Maybe later in the game, maybe in a game weeks from now. You're just planting these little seeds of doubt and confusion in your opponent's mind.
And they weren't done. They did it again later. They brought in Gardner Minshew, the backup QB, to take the snap, and they lined up Patrick Mahomes as a running back. Now, the play itself actually got called back because of a penalty, but honestly, that almost doesn't matter. Think about what they just put on film. Now, every single defensive coordinator that has to face them has to spend time preparing for this crazy formation and all the things they could do out of it. It's brilliant. Even when the play fails, they're still creating an advantage for the future.
So when you put it all together, what do you get? You see the whole picture. This is a team that can look at a controversial play and see the truth. It's a team built on the back of incredible individual toughness, like what we saw from Xavier Worthy. And it's a team that uses these layers and layers of trickery on offense. So when you combine all that, the talent, the toughness, and the mind games, it really just leaves you with one massive question. What or who can possibly stop them?